Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Missy and this is my sweet little daughter Matilda Jean, and this is her 4-month update video. So I actually missed the 3-month video because we all had COVID and were sick, and by the time I felt good enough to film something, too much time had gone by and I was like, well, not too much has changed, so I'll just go to the 4-month. So basically over the last 2 months, you know, so much developmental change with babies in general. She's looking around, she's able to like spot things, she's giggling. I haven't gotten a full belly laugh out of her just yet, but she definitely giggles at things, you know, us being goofy and that kind of thing. Her brother. We are trying to do tummy time. I'm not very good with doing tummy time. Most of the time she is in here. I have her pretty much, she's lower here. I either do the wrap, the boba wrap, the soba wrap, or this is I think it's Ergo Baby, an Ergo Baby one, just because it's not as hot as the other wraps, but I feel like I can't get her high enough, but she seems fine in it. But she's either on the floor, and the second she fusses, I just put her in a wrap, she's content. She kind of stopped napping in here for me. I used to be able to get her to pass out, and then I could just, you know, float around and do what I needed to do, and lately she rarely naps. It's usually only if I'm taking her on a walk or we go shopping or something and I have her wrap, she'll fall asleep, but it's not around the house. It doesn't really happen that often anymore, which is kind of sad. But I really want to get her on back carry, but she's too little. I believe it's 6 months. I think it's when they can sit up by themselves essentially, because they need more neck support to be on your back. And I really can't wait to get her on my back, because as a tall person, I have to kind of like bend over to do things, and she's like getting in my way. But this is what I did with my first. I just wrap them all the time. It's just easier for me, and then I kind of know where they are. So she spends a lot of time in the wrap. I do have things like a play gym and a little chair for her that we kind of put her in for small periods of time. We do have actually over here, right there, I just bought on Etsy a wooden sensory table for Paul, because the table that he usually uses is actually the Skip Hop 3-in-1 table, which I really love. It goes from where you can plunk the baby in to like an activity center, and then it goes to, what's the third one? I think the second one is basically they can like hold on to and walk around it because there's toys that clip onto it, and then the third one is it's like a table, which is what he uses it for now. But I like the look of wood versus plastic, so I wanted a wooden sensory table. This one's really cool. I'll probably show it in a different video, but we are going to build that out for Paul, and then her Skip Hop table, we'll put the seat in and the toys, and I think she's going to enjoy that, sitting in there, because she seems to want to sit up more than she does want to lay down in a chair. Kind of like just her schedule, her everyday schedule right now that has been pretty consistent for a couple weeks. I know babies like to change things up on you. She wakes up between like 6:30 and 7:30, which is times exactly when my husband goes to work, because he helps me change her while I get ready so I can feed her. And then I feed her, and Paul did not do this, but she does this. She's been doing this for a while, knock on wood. I feed her, and I'm able to put her right back down for 2.5 to 3 hours. And by that time, well, when I finish her feeding, Paul's up, so I'm down here making breakfast, starting the day with just me and Paul while this little girl's upstairs sleeping. So those are some really cool moments that I get with just me and Paul. And then I usually wake her up, or she wakes up. I don't let her go past a 3-hour feeding. And then it's pretty much from then to the end of the day, it completely varies. Whether I have her, she'll sit in her chair, she's content, Paul's playing with her. Sometimes she falls asleep in the chair, sometimes she falls asleep in the swing, sometimes she doesn't fall asleep until Paul goes to his nap, and I feed her on the couch and she'll fall asleep, and I just let her nap in my arms. It doesn't bother me at all. So it's completely random. If we're running errands, sometimes she sleeps in the car. I'm not nap strict like I used to be with Paul. I used to get like very anxious about him being up for a certain amount of time, him needing to nap, him not napping. I don't have the time to do that now with baby number 2. So her naps during the day are all kind of crazy. And then I try to stick to feedings are about every 2 hours. Lately, she's been wanting to feed like every 90 minutes. I think she's teething. So I just, you know, if she wants to be fed, I feed her. And then bedtime, my kids like to go to bed early. I never really try to keep kids up late because it always seems to backfire. So she's in bed at 7, and unless there's something going on, she's usually out. And then we do what I think it's called a dream feed. It's so funny because when we took the Bradley method class for Paul, they talked about a dream feed, and my midwives talked about doing a dream feed. So I thought that's just what you did. So we did that with Paul, we did that with her. And then when I like talked to all my girlfriends, they're like, oh my God, we never did that. We're not waking our kid up to feed them. That's craziness. So I don't know if that's what helps them or not. So what a dream feed is basically is right before we go to sleep, I wake her up, we change her diaper, I feed her, and I put her right back down. I don't really, I'm not even like crazy. I'm just like, don't talk to them, don't look them in the eye, don't stimulate them. It's dark. She's still in our room. So we go in there in the dark, change her, Matt gives her back to me, right? And then she usually goes right back down. It's very rare that she gets up in the middle of the night. And then we just cycle through this. So yes, she sleeps through the night. She still has. She slept through the night since like week 2. Paul always slept through the night. We never had problems. Paul did have a period at some point, I can't remember when, if it was teething, where he would wake up in the middle of the night. So we just haven't hit that yet. So, we are very lucky that she sleeps completely through the night. Sleeping wise, she is still in our bedroom. I have a little bassinet and I have the recliner right next to my bed, so I do not have to go far. I just go right next to my bed, feed her in the recliner, put her in the bassinet, and I can hop into my bed, and it's a little like 3-foot triangle. I don't have to move, which is quite nice. We keep talking about moving her out of the bassinet into the pack and play, which is also in our bedroom. We use the changing table on the pack and play, so it's all set up, ready to go. We just honestly haven't done it. I think she's ready to go into her room, but we are just following, I don't know, is the advice from something. Like, I think one of the pediatricians had given it to us. American Pediatrics, maybe. They recommended for reduced SIDS risk to keep the baby in your room, in the parents' room, for 6 months or something. I know everybody does completely something different. We're just using that as like, okay, we'll do it at that point because we're in no rush. Number one, we have all this other stuff to do. We just don't want to deal with any kind of like, shock of being in a new room kind of thing, because it's, why rock the boat? But it will be nice, to have our room to go back into, and you don't have to creep in there. Her room is all set up. I would just essentially have to wash her sheets so they're clean, and then move the recliner back in her room, and it's ready to go. It was a mess for a while, and I did clean up clothes and toys, so it's pretty much put together for the most part. So I think what we're gonna do is put her in her room for 6 months, which would time kind of around Labor Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend for my husband. So I think we're gonna do it that weekend. I am a little concerned because Paul and Tilly's bedrooms are right next to each other. Paul is my 2.5-year-old, and he does what's called, I think it's called head banging is the term. It's a soothing thing that he does where he sits, and we actually have a crib mattress on his wall propped up there. He's on a bed on the floor, and he will sit and wake up in the middle of the night and sit against the thing and bang his head against the mattress. He used to do it in his crib, and he actually broke the crib. He's not purposely banging his head out of frustration. It's kind of just a soothing thing. We've talked about it a million times with our pediatrician. He's not even remotely concerned. He said that it's more common in boys, and they grow out of it by the time they're about 3 or 4. I'm just afraid, because it can get loud, I'm just afraid he's gonna wake her up. But we both have sound machines for them, so we shall see. But that's the sleeping situation. So sleeping's doing very well. Naps are meh, but that's the way it seems to always be. She is weighing in very low on the percentile, but again, our pediatrician is not remotely concerned. We were trying to pack some weight on her, I think for month 2, and it did work, but she's just a little smaller framed from when she was born. So when she was born, she was in like the 90th percentile, and then she dropped because she was sleeping through the night and not being able to, like, her metabolism wasn't keeping up with milk, but she's growing length or height wise. So my pediatrician said she's getting calories, and he's not worried about it, so I'm not worried about it. So she is, I weighed her this morning, and she's almost 12 pounds, and it's like 7th percentile or something for her age. So she's tiny, compared to her parents, really. So size wise, she is in a 3 to 6. I put her in a 3 to 6 for a little bit because mostly lengthwise. Diapers, she is in a size 1 and really should be in a size 2, but we're just trying to use up all the disposable size 1s that I bought. She is in cloth diapers, with the exception of now. I'm trying to use all these diapers up. She also has started being interested in when I eat stuff. So I usually at the dinner table for the most part cut up my food and then I sit there and hold her purposely so she can see me eating. I did that with Paul and I'm kind of doing it with her so she can see me eating, watching me put food in my mouth. We're not going to feed her solids probably till 6 months minimum. We have a pediatrician appointment in a few weeks, so I'm assuming he'll bring that up. I'm assuming. Other than that, she's doing very, very well. She's like the sweetest little baby, always giggling, always laughing. She loves her brother, don't you? She loves Mosley. She's a very, very good baby. We're so happy to have her, aren't we? Yes. I think that's everything I had for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos and updates on Tilly's, let me know with a thumbs up. Leave me some comments below, and here are a bunch of pictures from Tilly for the last 2 months.